If you do not, I repeat, do not want a soft, sad, mopey, simp life video, do not watch this video. It is definitely not for you. But I love you anyways, and if you do watch, thanks for watching. If you don't know who I am, that's me, Peter. I'm 27 now, and here's the story of how I lost my best friend and how my heart broke into pieces, and here I am trying to figure out who I am again, and I hope y'all can learn something from this. So if you did not watch the last video, highly suggest you do. And to keep you updated, what happened was I went to LA because I got my heart broken, and knowing me, I needed to just get away for a minute and to really I knew what was coming and my heart was going to be in pieces. And I went to LA. And what happened was, once I got back, it was great. Met up my friend Kevin. And once I got back, I started feeling a little weird, a little off. And as days went into weeks, to eventually months, I started feeling the most sickest I've ever felt in my life. No cap, the worst. And I thought, dramatic as it sounds, I might have gotten the you-know-what. I was gonna make a whole comeback video on why or who I am now and what's happening to me, but then I decided to go to LA to just get away from everything, and then your boy has the Rona and I'm trying to recover from the Rona. This is freaking insane. I even know what's going on with me. I have no idea what's going on. Thank freaking God. And luckily it wasn't, but I'm still recovering from whatever the hell that I thought it was. And honestly, I've never felt so vulnerable, alone, and weak, on top of dealing with all this that I'm already dealing with. Your boy got his heart shattered into a million pieces, and I'm such a damn sucker for love, but I'll talk about that in a minute. Let's go outside, because I haven't been outside in a long time. Y'all stay safe right there. Right there. Actually, look at my sunglasses. One thing I realized from not filming or doing these vlogs for a long ass time is that I used my vlog as pretty cathartic in terms of I use it as a way not necessarily to get famous or get clout or make a living, because I'm finding my right somewhere else, right? And it was always a form of how I express myself and how I deal with my emotions, and it's how I put my own thoughts out into the world. And it was ever since I stopped doing that, my mind started going crazy. I'm like, dude, I think one of the reasons why I stopped being myself is I stopped vlogging. What a crazy time to be alive, eh? When it comes to sharing my love life or lack of, I usually don't post that stuff online, and as transparent I try to be, I can understand why people don't really post this stuff, because it can definitely affect you and your significant other. Short story short is that getting your heart broken sucks. It's something that they don't really teach you in school, let alone the friends, or you can read a bunch of Cosmo articles And no matter how old I get, it just sucks. There's no other way to explain
I
it.
just realized my camera was on like manual mode, and I'm like, man, it's been so goddamn long since I've like used this camera. Such a noob, but you know, I ain't about perfection, and I'm sweaty as a mother up in here. This video is supposed to be like about me and getting my heart broken, but I'm over here like trying to survive a zombie apocalypse. See it, but they're over there, like literally wiping their things down, eh? And I'm like, god damn.
It's like giving your heart to people, having it stepped on, and now you're here trying to pick up all the little pieces back up. And here I am. I got dumped, ghosted, blocked, deleted, gone, and done. And I can understand why some people chase this feeling, why some people need to drink, do substances, go back to dating, to forever try to chase that same feeling that they're missing or void in their life. And for me, I make videos to cope with this. Initially, what happened was I was just numb in disbelief of how it was too good to be true, and how I began putting my own expectations on what a relationship actually was. The numbness turned into sadness, where honestly, there's days where I just like blatantly cry. A lot of loneliness of how you could give up so much for someone to have it all fall on its face, and to have it like it never even existed. The feeling of not good enough, you see, is the type of love that I give in relationships. Is everything, literally. I'll give up everything, trying too hard to make it right, where it's like, when I love someone, I'll do whatever it takes to make it work, to fight for the relationship, to be a partner, to be a supporter. And maybe this is where I can see how it started to fall apart, is that no matter what I did or didn't do, I always felt like it was my fault. And I was just a mess, and I could feel myself getting farther and farther and distant from her, to the point where she wasn't the girl that I fell in love with anymore. Feelings of hate that we spent 2 years together, creating memories and all the things we said to each other, to have it all be gone. And it made me question things like, could I trust anyone again after this? Would I be able to find another relationship? How could I be so stupid? Why does it keep happening to me? And it comes in the sense of vulnerability, where I think a lot of guys have issues with, yeah man, you'll just get over it, and yeah, blah blah blah. But the reality is, that's not what we want to hear. And truth be told is, it hurts, and it's the feelings of like, will anyone ever love me again? And what if I just die lonely? I think those are some of the more realist thoughts of how, compared to, I'll just get over it, no big deal. And like, to replace and grabbed it, I would break down crying, because it's like, dude, it still hurts, man. It's still like, I'm not over it. Like, if she's over it, cool. But for me, it's like, it still hurts, man. Even if she's like moved on, I'm like, for me, it's like, man, it still hurts, man. I'd rather get stabbed in the heart, literally, than this emotional BS. I can't deal with this. Now that you're here, and time of reflection and needing to accept the fact that that person didn't choose you, what I learned, or I'm starting to learn, is this is the best thing that could have happened for me. And it's the art of letting go. You realize that we both had to hate each other to move on. And even the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. When all is said is done, through every breakup I've been through, good or bad, especially the bad ones, I always came back a better person. See how it is that each time you go through a breakup, a piece of your former self needs to die or be let go. And by doing so, you're forced with the task to look within and become who you truly are. Like, if you're a Miyazaki fan or a Gilby Studios fan, there's a scene in Spirited Away where, man, it's been so long since I've watched it, but there is this one significant scene where I remember where the girl and the ghost thingy that I forgot, let me know what that name was, but they're on this train in silence. And it made me think. People come and go, as cliche or trite as it sounds, in your life. And you yourself are the train. And you're this train that's headed in this one direction. And people come on and into your train, and they don't follow you all the way to the end unless you're lucky enough. And people get off at each of their according stations. And you can get with someone to the farthest station that you can go, but the reality is they can't go any farther with you, and they get off and they go into the distance, and your train just keeps going forward. And that's how I see with every single person that I meet in my life. I needed to let go of the fear of, will anyone love me? Am I too ugly? Will I ever find love again? I have my own insecurities just like everyone else. The fact that fear outwilled my reality is how I saw relationships. I needed to come to the realization that someone out there in the world will just like me or love me for who I am without always being in my own head, instead of trying to prove to myself that I was worth being with. I needed to focus on me, because for so long I focused on everyone else and trying to prove people wrong. I needed to learn how to be happy alone. I needed to learn who I really was, what made me happy, what's this purpose that I need to cultivate within. What is that thing that I've always wanted to do, and now that there's essentially nothing holding me back? And that's what I'm doing with the next chapter of this video, or just documenting my life and cool stuff to come, man. So stay tuned. You don't know who I am. My name is Peter from Vancouver, Canada, and you're listening to Broke the Habit Radio. Tune into the next episode of where my life will head in, and hopefully there's some cool things up ahead. Thanks for watching.